I'm gonna have to relink YouTube. Need to go to live, please. Thank you. Okay. I gotta get a... Did it just keep the same stream? Let's see if Twitch restarted properly. Okay, I fixed it. There we go. Okay, let me reorganize a few things here so I can see what I'm doing. Come on, computer. There we go. Okay, yeah, it's Aseprite. It's spelled like that. How you doing, by the way? Ain't seen you or talked to you in a while. Well, both. But yeah, Aseprite's really nice. Oh, where did I put my pen? Okay. Oh, the reference, though. I need to get it. Yeah, get the tired part. About the same, I think. Okay, I'm going to save this image just to make life a little easier for me here. ArtFight references, not mine, obviously. Okay, and then I'm gonna go to OBS real quick. Okay. Image. That way y'all can see what I'm working off of. ArtFight references. Okay. There we go. Oh, that's really big. We'll just put it right there. That's what we're working off of. And I need to get my things up so I can see. There we go. There. Okay. There it is. Let me catch up on chat real quick. I haven't heard of that game. Might have to check it out, though, if it's like all those three. Okay, yeah, no problem. Take care. And I hope the ailments don't cause too much trouble. Okay. Let's actually do some drawing. I try not to use the symmetry tool too often, but it's really just... When I just want to get something done, it's nice and comfortable, I guess. I don't have to think too hard. There we go. Got my reference where I can see it. I'll have to check that game out, though, out of curiosity. Alright, so my understanding is that this is a sentient snowball. Or at least they're an object head. So I think I'm just going to do like a really simple... I want to animate just about everybody's if I can, but I'm going to keep this one simple. I have done a waving animation, some like bouncing stuff, some blinking. Yeah, it's pretty cool. And they got like little leafies. There's a snow bunny. Oh, it says he, him, so he's a snow bunny. There's a lot of really cool characters on ArtFight. People are super creative. Okay, so we'll do... I'm gonna put the ears on first, I think, but I think my green is a little bit of a cool color for that, and they've got more of a warmer green for it. So we'll just... It's a little bit bright for my liking, though. Like, I'm trying to keep it close to... You know what, I need to do one other thing. I try to keep it close to the person's colors that they picked, but also, too, like, I like using the colors that I like to use. You know what, I'm gonna make the background kind of... like a light blue, maybe. That'll work for now. Then watch this green not look great again. Reminds you of Tinkertown. Might look at it. Tinkertown's really slow to get into, but it's pretty fun once you've gotten it started. Oop. Accidentally affected the transparency. Okay, I think that green is okay. I mess up my shortcut keys a lot, so you might see that quite a bit. Well, their ears go down past their shoulders, so we're gonna... Yeah, that'll work. And then somewhere I have... Where is my... There it is. I have a little remote that came with my tablet that I'm still not used to because I keep having to change things until... I'll memorize the buttons eventually. You know, it's one of those situations. Oh, there's so many jaggies here. Looking a little better. If you're not familiar with jaggies and you don't do pixel art too often, it's where it's supposed to be like even steps down here, but sometimes they end up being completely uneven, and I just... In practice, you're supposed to make sure they're not like that, but some people don't mind them. I'm just being picky. I missed one. Now this one's kind of angular, so maybe I should have a point here. And we'll figure this out as we go. And then we'll make it pointy here. It bugs me that I'm doing stream without music, but I don't know what's okay on YouTube. And I'd like this to just be posted straight to it, if at all possible. Just the nature of things, I guess. Yeah, getting started was definitely slow. Yeah. The copyright thing is kind of ridiculous right now, because they've been using AI for a long time as well, and it's rather frustrating. I really don't like how that is, but I know I need to leave it alone. What if I did this, though? Would that make me feel any better about it? The answer is no, it made me feel worse. But we want that point there, so we're just going to leave it. The realization that I technically don't have room for a hat on this particular thingy. I could just make the image bigger. We'll do that. That might be enough space. Go back to the background. So we'll get our hat on there. So we're going to use... Snowball is a warm gray or cool gray? Nope, cool gray, I think. Almost got kind of a greenish hue. I'm trying my best not to color pick. I know color picking is the best way to get it so specific, but it's more fun to just do it. And yeah, AI is downright awful at being precise about things, and AI does not understand nuance. I know, big corporation that's worth God knows how much money has got to save some pennies. These corporations also turn around and go, "Ooh, we love people, but we won't pay them anything. And if we do, it's not going to be a livable wage." So let me grab my white. Almost like a sagey color, like a tint. That way we have room to do highlights later. Actually, technically it would reflect the color of the background because it's white, but not gonna worry too much. Yeah. Fighting for 15 an hour for so long that's like, what, you need 25 to 30 now? Like, Sife's on, like, he's got like a factory job. And we're making, what? Let's rounding up, like 20 an hour, and like, can afford a house, can't afford to own a car at the same time, though. You have to pick. And picking is difficult, to say the least. I don't know, do I have my light coming from up top? Let me put this color down so I don't lose it. Oop. Control Z that, because I slid it sideways. So do I have my light coming from here, but also from the sides a little bit? I have such a hard time thinking in 3D space. I really need to go do some studying. Yep. And it's absolutely absurd. Also, too, it's like we shouldn't have to go and work overtime just to be able to afford to live, either. We're supposed to have, like... I don't know how to put it. Oh, hi, Darkbug. Thank you for the lurk. I appreciate it. I don't know. It's messed up. We're supposed to be in one of the richest countries in the world. Okay, so I've got that color there, so I'm just going to go ahead and... I know my stuff's coming from that way, so I don't want to do too much shading there. I'm just going to shade at least the face, so I know what colors I'm using. I need to press X and then that. Oh, I picked up the same color twice. Okay. So we're probably going to pick right there. Yeah, that'll work. I was so precise about those ears, and I'm all scribbly when I'm shading, but we'll get there, we'll get there. I'm gonna make this shadow lighter over here, because the light's closer. Looks like I got eyes up really high, or some weird eyebrows sitting there. I gotta move that. That does make me feel better, although it sucks that we're both in a similar situation, that we had to pick either a car or a house. But it's still, I don't know. I hate it, but also, like, I feel a little better because I know I'm not crazy. Some people do want you to think that you're crazy. But, and you know who some people are. I appreciate you trying to watch both chats regardless. I know it's kind of a pain, because you said one of them's freezing up, right? Yeah, I'm trying to keep an eye on both myself. I'm not used to this. This is the first time I've done stream on both Twitch and YouTube at the same time. But I thought I'd give it a shot and see what happens. I think I'm going to pop the eyes on here just to see where I want to put them. They have ruby colored eyes. So we'll put them right about here for now. If I think I need to move them after I do the hat, I'll do that. This is looking adorable. Let's grab a warmer gray. Do I make it this color? It's a little, no. Further. And then lighter. You know, this is about the time that I probably should make my outline first, and then yeah, it's hard to afford a home, to put it lightly, I guess, or to say the least. Like, what am I doing with this hat? So we're gonna want to do it like that, probably, and then like that. But yeah, like, we live in an area where things are significantly cheaper than some other areas, and even they're starting to get unaffordable. I couldn't imagine trying to buy a house in, like, New York or something. I'm starting to wonder, is that more towards... I don't think so, but let's try it. I think I might be on the right track. I do like this color a little bit more. I realize it looks like I drew a little cactus up there. Make sure I'm on my brush tool. Get the little hat. I think I might have raised it up a little too high. It's kind of funny too, so I'm supposed to stress less, and I'm not mad at the conversation at all right now. Don't get me wrong. But, like, I'm supposed to be stressing less and everything because I don't know what's going on with my heart. It's just stupid. And it's so hard to not stress. How do you avoid stressing right now? The economy's gone to garbage. And then the stuff going on in the United States. What do you do? Yeah, we got really lucky with the house. So if you're in the other chat, Syph is bringing up that we got lucky because Syph is my spouse. We got the house that we do because his parents happened to know a neighbor who was getting ready to sell. And it just happened at the perfect timing with COVID and everything that we were able to get a loan for it. And we got it real cheap too, I think for like $80,000. I told you we lived in a cheap place. Let me tell you that that price sounds great, but most of the houses here under 120,000, sometimes even a little above, are absolute trash. Like, the joists are falling apart, the roof needs repaired, they're just not good houses. But you take what you can get sometimes. And this house, like, And for the record, and I do not hate religion. I do not hate people who are religious. I love y'all. But this house is a blessing. I'm an atheist. Or it's a meth house. Yeah, you'll get them too sometimes. Uh, so like the fact that we got a house this cheap is amazing. It's like a little short of a miracle. But if we were to try to get a house like this now in 2025, no way in hell. And I think even the cheapo, crappy houses are going for $150,000 now. I heard it's absurd. And like I said, our minimum wage. I think they are trying to raise our minimum wage up, but it's still not enough. You need a double income. And then they're like, why aren't people having kids? It's like, this is why. You can't afford it. Yeah, we avoided going through a real estate company as well. We just went directly through the owner. Didn't have as many fees. It was a big help. I always do this. I get to yip-yapping too much. Oh no, I forgot that. Oh. We will be manually outlining that later. Alright, so I've got this little bit started. Let's grab blue. Kind of a, not too saturated. Almost a jeans colored blue. There's some fluffy bits up here on the shoulders. So I'll do this. And fluffy bits on the bottom. Sometimes it really is a better idea to add a line there so you can tell where things are, etc., but I think we're going to be okay. I think I'm going to do a cute little bounce animation with this one. And maybe do like a little squish and then like they move up a little bit. We'll see. But yeah, things are certainly something, to say the least. So we'll start there. We have brown boots. If this was a more complicated animation, I think that technically I should be drawing the animation first. But I'm just going to be manipulating the image just a little bit, so I don't think it's that big a deal. I need to learn some standard animation practices, because it does look like it's better. I don't know if it's easier, better, whatever, to do the animation first and then draw the character over it. But I see a lot of people do that, and it's like, I'm probably missing something if I'm not following the quote-unquote rules. Do I make it go down further? I want him to go forward a little bit. Instead of just having the feet sticking way out. So maybe we do a highlight real quick to mark that for myself. Like, hey, this is the front of the feet. And the fluffs are going to be the same color as that. I'll make them uneven, give it a little more visual interest. I'll worry about evening or unevening that out earlier or later, because I need to put an outline on it. Because I can't really see what I'm doing here because of the color. I want to say color differences, but they're the colors samesies. I don't know. And we'll... There, now we can see the pants a little better. And then we have fluffs up there, but we also have a scarf. And I know it doesn't make much sense, but I think I'm going to have the scarf like flow out on the side somewhere. Just so we can see it. And there seems to be a really light blue shirt underneath, like maybe a turtleneck sweater or something. So we'll make an opening here for that. I think I'm going to run it towards cyan a little bit, though, because it looks like that's what they did. And it helps it stand out from the other blues a little bit more. And then we'll lighten that up a little. Alright, and then fluffs. Whew. Yeah, some places don't really care that much about inspections. Which is, like, great in a way, because then you don't have to spend money on it, but also it's worrying. We almost bought a house that was falling apart underneath. It looked great on the outside. They did a lot of nice cosmetic work. And there was, like... And I know houses settle after a while when they get bigger. Wow, older. I mean, if the house was a child, it would get bigger and older at the same time, but that's not how that works. But... I don't know. Like, settling is to be expected to a degree, but sometimes it's more than that. Sometimes your joists are falling apart. Gonna do that. I think I'm going to go ahead and get my black outline going on here. I need to erase these, though. I'm gonna try to do the auto one again. I forgot that if I have the symmetry tool on, it might have an impact. If you're not familiar with Aseprite and you're learning it, to auto outline is Shift-O. But we're still seeing some problems here because, I don't know, I did something silly. Let's erase that and see. Oh, yep, look at that, look at that. Remember when I said I did something silly? There we go. That was our problem. We're going to pick that color up just in case I didn't, and then Shift-O. Look at that, it works much better. Of course, it won't outline anything on the inside. But I'm debating if I just want to use a darker color of the colors that I'm using. I'm not animating this like really heavy, so I can probably just do whatever I want. So we'll do Alt to pick up the color. We're going to darken it. I'm going to move it more towards the blue. And let's merge our layers together, because I can't remember what's on what sometimes. Because I just tried to draw on it when I was drawing under it. There we go. So we're going to use this purple here. Now the hat is not fluffy, so this is perfectly fine. Oh, let me pick this up real quick and put it here, because that's where it needs to be. I need to get both sides. You know, this would be faster if I would, because I'm doing this way anyway. If I turn my symmetry tool on. Let's see, that does have some texture to it. I imagine it's supposed to be ribbed. So we're gonna rib it. No, I'm not a frog. Why did you ask? I'm only a frog when I'm crocheting, because you gotta rip it a lot, so. Okay, so that's ribbed. And I think the hat is just stripy. Since that's it's not the line art there. So we'll pick up some really... Is that the same gray? It might be. I'm going to turn the symmetry off for this one because I'm going to do a couple pixels there and a couple there. Or maybe it should be the other way. Yeah, I like that better. And then back on. Where did I put my water bottle? There we go. Mouth was getting a little bit dry. Okay, I set my pen down and immediately lost it for a moment. That's always good news. I kind of want to work on the ears, but it's like I should probably just finish the hat first. Then I'll have some more colors to use on other parts. We gotta remember it's coming from the top too. And the side, so maybe, I don't know, this is a toughie. I'm just gonna add something there at least for visual interest, I don't know. And this is where our body is. I think we'll use this dark blue as kind of an outline here. Yeah, I like that. Do we have a tie and a pom-pom here? Well, two pom-poms. There's our tie. I think it's going to be kind of messy if I put the two strings there, so we're just going to leave them there to kind of imply that there's something going on. Or I could... Yeah, I like it like that. That is like almost exactly. So we'll add our outline like that. And we'll just use... And the... Okay, there's little X's on there. We're just going to imply them because it's kind of hard to get that design on there because everything is so small. Or maybe... Oops. Come on. You know what? That'll work. Not perfect, but it gets the job done. And while we're thinking about the scarf, let's go ahead and get that in over there. I'm gonna wrong button. Gonna shorten it a little bit, but first I'm gonna decrease the size of my eraser because that's a little much. And then we're just going to fit as many pom-poms on here as we can reasonably. Because I may not be able to match the exact amount. And I'm going to put them at different lengths so I can fit them in better. Maybe they should be smaller, yeah. I keep pushing that button. I don't need to push that button. Do want that to do that because I don't want it to be perfectly straight. elbows are getting a little angry. That indicates they're separate from one another. I'm going to go up on here so they're visually separated a little bit. And then we'll do that with the X. Get at least a couple of those in there, yeah? Looking like a pinwheel. Let's see. That'll do for now. Okay, let's see. Put our center line there, maybe with black, to help it pop a little. And I do mean just a little. Do I like that on that side like that? No, I think it'll be fine without it. Alright, let's grab this color here. And get some of our shading in. And since the head is here, I'm going to add a little bit of shadow. Let me turn this on. I don't know if he has gloves on. There's a good possibility, but I'm going to leave it as is. And then grab here. Sometimes I get a little too quiet, I realized. I mean, you can tell I'm relaxed, I guess. That's a little too much noise over there. Alright, I need to stretch my arms for a second. Ooh. Not so sure I had my alert set up, come to think of it. Whoops. At least for Twitch, anyway. YouTube, I'm not so sure what to do with yet. But we'll get there. And I'll try to tell my elbows to stop getting angry, but unfortunately they're not very good listeners. If only. I think I might have aggravated them a little bit because I've been lifting heavier things over the last couple days. It's better than it used to be, though, because at one point, I was unable to lift a gallon of milk without causing problems for myself, but it's a lot better now. Darker. What if we did like a texture there? Nah, they look like feet, like paw feet. I'm gonna darken you. Let's grab some white. I gotta do those ears yet, I can't forget. I might forget, but I shouldn't. I think. Oops. And we'll just like that. Oh my gosh. Oop, yeah, I can't do that there yet. In a little bit. We're gonna put highlights there instead. And then a little bit here. It's looking pretty cute. I imagine this is a fairly smooth surface. Maybe do a little bit of this. I might actually go ahead and change this to a more of a blue on the body, because I just don't like how this is looking right now. We'll go more towards cyan. If you have two colors selected on your foreground and background, it is Shift R on Aseprite to flip the colors like that. Makes things nice and easy. It's quick too. And we know that there's going to be more light on the sides, so maybe I should. Oopsie, I forgot about that one. They actually add a diagonal one now too. It's kind of nice. Yeah, I like that a little more. Goodness, goodness. And pull that a little more blue. I do want them to look more like leaves, so I'm going to add a little more detail to it that they didn't have on theirs. Maybe we just do this instead. Do a nice highlight in between each. Somebody's making noise outside. The doggy's upset. Yeah, I like that a little more. Gonna add a little bit here, because I do want there to be like, hey, these are stuck in there. And then I'll turn this off. Actually, I think they're probably going to be about the same, so it didn't matter. But it does make him look goofy, so I'm going to do it this way instead. Little highlights on the hands. And a bit here on the hat, too. And just a little bit here. Actually, it's lighter in the middle, too. I almost forgot about the design on the coat. It's pretty typical of me, though. I do it all the time. I'm not going to be able to work all the details in there, but what I'll have will do. It actually doesn't go down quite as far, so I'm going to fix that. There we go. Okay, I have got to get up for a minute, so I will be right back. Let me get back to this. I might end up clearing my throat often. Apologies ahead of time. Because I just ate something. Okay, we're going to do Alt New. Like I said, I think we're just going to do... You know, I'm going to separate this scarf onto another layer first. Because I just want to do a really simple... stream's going to look weird for a second. Did I change that? I did. It's going to look weird for just a second because I'm moving my window. I need to work it on the big window, or my big monitor. Because I have a drawing tablet and then I have my regular monitor. Excuse me. Move these guys over. Because I'm not doing a lot of heavy drawing here. I'm just manipulating and moving my stuff around. There we go. But I'm just going to be wiggling him up and down and really easy stuff. So I did unintentionally grab some of the ear. So I'm just going to hide this. And then go on that layer and fix it real quick. So I don't have to worry too much about it later. Okay, so we know this is scarf. And we're going to delete that one and paste. I'm going to do the same thing on the scarf layer. We're going to copy, paste. I don't have to delete it. Okay. Now up here on the left is going to be where I'm going to play the animation while I'm working on it. So we can see that there's something wrong here because I didn't paste this guy over here. So let's correct that. There we go. Now I can manipulate this part without having to worry about the other bit. I'm going to have them bend a little bit. I'm going to bounce. He's looking like he's really hyper over there right now, doesn't he? Okay, just going to keep it simple. And I'll Alt New. And make them go down one more. Some I'm going to Alt B. Well, nope, that's a bad idea because then I have to copy the other one. So we're going to Alt New again. Alt B is like Alt blank. So we're just going to paste that layer there. And I'm going to take my first one. I'm going to do Alt N again. Delete, paste. So this time I want them to go up. We'll worry about the scarf in a little bit. I know that it's wonky right now. And I need to erase some stuff in the background. And then I'm going to do it one more time. And then I think I want to try, I want to see how this looks. We're going to squish. So let's fix the boots. Turn on symmetry to make it a little easier. Oh, is my symmetry weird? Yeah, that's right, because this is the squished one. Oops. So we'll have to do this like this. This one's going to be in, that's out. And I add our colors back in. I don't know if we want to add that to it or not, but we're adding it for now. And then we'll do that again. This. I wonder, do we move? Oop. Okay, sometimes it'll just let me slide things and sometimes it won't. If I'm on, yeah, if I'm on that, it will though. All right, so let's go to the scarf back here. Going down, so down one. Okay, I did need that there. Down two. And then we're going to go up. I don't think we're going to squish the scarf. I don't like how static the scarf is right now, though, so we're going to figure... Oh, I forgot I'm on symmetry. Need to turn that off first. I wonder if we move these up just slightly. And then those in. I need to erase those. I knew there was a reason. Get rid of these for now. Let me get back to this. I'm going to move the darker part inward a little bit more. And we need to make it pointy again. Is that too big of a change, though? Or maybe it just doesn't look right in general. I'm not sure I like this. Now, I could just be a little lazy and just manipulate them upward a little bit instead. And just go up. Let's do it one. Now that just looks weird, doesn't it? I think it's because I have no idea what I'm doing for starters. We're just experimenting and seeing what works and what doesn't really. And if it doesn't work, we just don't do the thing, you know? How do I get rid of part that I added? I wonder. I see what I did. What if I just manipulate that up as it is? Still looks a little weird. Because it is. It's definitely not a natural movement by any means, but it's a very lazy movement. I think I'm just going to leave them alone, because I really do not have the patience to try to make them move properly today. I'm a little tired, to be honest. You know what? I think we just leave well enough alone. I don't have the mental power today. But let me do another thing here to the scarf. And I think we'll just call it. I was determined to stream today regardless. But I didn't think that I would be this lazy. Excuse me. It's gonna be what it's gonna be, though. You know what? I'm just gonna call it at that. Alright, I am going to go ahead and stream. I appreciate y'all coming to hang out. On Twitch, I again would like to raid, but I'm feeling lazy. I can't today. So I hope y'all have a good week upcoming here, and take care of yourselves, okay?